All right, here's a story we all thought was over. But guess what? The so-called super mayor might actually be heading to jail, but not for the reason we all thought. Yeah, let me break it down for you. So Tiffany Henyard, remember her? She was the mayor of Dalton, Illinois. And let's just say, she wasn't exactly squeaky clean. A little corrupt? Yeah, that's putting it lightly. To give you a quick idea of just how messy things got, here's a short segment that aired on Fox News. Now, we could go down the list. Everything from her telling the townspeople they better have...
Illinois mayor is getting national attention for the way that she's spending taxpayer dollars. Now, critics say you can't turn your head in the Chicago suburb of Dalton without seeing the name of Mayor Tiffany Henyard. She's also the supervisor of a neighboring township and refers to herself as Super Mayor. It's her TikTok handle, too. But she's now accused of spending tens of thousands of taxpayer funds on self-promoting billboards, as well as putting her name on government buildings, government vehicles, even government rugs. Not to mention the Tiffany Henyard calendar, which includes the super mayor's birthday.
Her money to wild spending sprees to that one. Insane day where she blew $40,000 on Amazon using the town's credit cards. Yeah, you heard that right. 40 grand in one day. We've got receipts, we've got details, we've got it all, people. And for those of you who haven't kept up with the latest twist, she lost. She lost her re-election for mayor. She also lost her re-election for township supervisor, which means right now...
We begin with breaking news. A fist fight breaks out at Tiffany Henyard's Thornton Township meeting tonight, and witnesses say Henyard herself jumped onto the pile.
Tiffany Henyard is officially unemployed. All right, just when we thought this story was done, guess what? The super mayor might actually be headed to jail, but not for the reasons we originally expected. Let me break it down for you. So, Tiffany Henyard, former mayor of Dalton, Illinois. Yeah, she was a little corrupt. Just a bit. Fox News even ran...
It was one thing when the guys were fighting, but when she jumped in it, I was just taken aback. I was floored.
She jumped in, she hit her head on the table, so I don't know, she may be injured.
A segment on her, but it gets crazier. We could go on and on about how she told the townspeople they better have her money, or how she lived large, spending wild amounts. One day alone, she spent $40,000 on Amazon using the town's credit cards. That's just one day. This woman was balling on the public's dime, and if you haven't been following the latest updates, well, here it is. She lost her re-election for mayor. She also lost her re-election for township supervisor. Long story short, Tiffany Henyard is now unemployed. Now here's the recent twist. Even after getting booted out of office, Henyard was still legally obligated to comply with several court-issued subpoenas. Why? Because during her time in office, she just straight up stopped responding to Freedom of Information Act, FOIA requests. These are legal requests from citizens to find out how their tax money is being spent. Simple accountability, right? Well, in Tiffany's case, a lot of that spending happened on credit cards. And guess what's included in FOIA requests? Yep, credit card statements. If a government official spends 100 grand on a card, those statements are legally accessible by the public. In the beginning, the village actually responded to these requests. That's how the media found out she was spending like a maniac. For example, remember the Taste of Thornton Township event? Yeah, records showed singer Kiki Wyatt was paid $30,000 for just a 30-minute performance. Rapper Jay Holiday got $20,000 for another 30-minute set. When you add in the crew, the equipment, and all the extra fluff, the event cost a minimum of $85,000. That's actually lower than what WGN originally reported, but still, crazy money. Trustees later voted not to approve a lot of those expenses, saying it was money that had already been spent on credit cards. They didn't even approve it, and yet there it was, charged. So Henyard's response? We're just not going to answer FOIA requests anymore. Like, what? Who does that? You're the mayor. You're legally required to be transparent about how you spend taxpayer money. This led to a lawsuit. WGN Investigates took the Henyard administration to court, demanding compliance with the law. They filed an open records request for credit card statements, salary info, and even costs related to her taxpayer-funded vehicle. But Dalton refused to hand anything over, so WGN went to the Illinois Attorney General, who sided with them and ordered Dalton to release the records by mid-March. But that deadline came and went. Nothing happened. Fast forward to now. Not only WGN, but multiple groups are suing to get those records. Henyard thought she could dodge everything by leaving office. She literally said, "That's not my problem anymore. There's a new mayor now." But the plaintiffs in the lawsuit hit her with a legal reality check. One of them said, and I quote, "The former mayor is about to find out if losing an election is enough to escape contempt of court." Spoiler alert, it's not. She had already been found in contempt of court for not turning over the documents. And even after leaving office, she still had to show up. The judge was clear. Show up in court or go to jail. So here we are. Tiffany Henyard was scheduled to appear in court, this time for failing to produce records as part of a FOIA lawsuit. The judge had already warned her. If you don't turn over these documents, it could be a $1,000 a day fine. And if you don't, show up in court, you're going straight to jail, and guess what? She showed up, but virtually. She logged into the hearing from wherever she's hiding out. The judge gave her until next Friday to finally provide the documents. Oh, and he also ordered her to show up in person next time. No excuses. During the hearing, Henyard tried to play innocent. She told the judge she was just the face of the village and wasn't responsible for keeping the records. But the judge wasn't buying it. He told her, "You had access. You were ordered to turn them over. You didn't do it. You better come back next week in person with those records." Now, this is just my opinion, but it's clear why she doesn't want to hand over those documents. It's because those records are likely filled with details of rampant corruption. That's the real reason. If the public sees those statements, it's game over. Everything she tried to hide will come to light. The only reason she's refusing to turn them over is because they'll confirm that she was probably the most corrupt mayor in the country. So here's my question to you. Do you think she's actually going to release those records? Do you think she's going to end up in jail for ignoring the FOIA law? Personally, I think she's stubborn enough and reckless enough for that to actually happen. Anyway, if you're hearing my voice right now, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and do all that YouTube stuff. This story is far from over.